Hey everybody, welcome back to another guide for SAO, Alicization Lycoris. Today we're going to talk about the best swords in the game, what they have to offer, and of course where you can find them. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get started. Alright, so let's kick this off with probably the most popular and arguably the best sword in the game, the Skyrend. The Skyrend gives the player a boost to strength, dexterity, and agility, maxing out at 50 for each when upgraded all the way. The Skyrend does not have an active skill, but a passive called Essence of the Blade. This passive gives a 50% boost to the skill connect time window, which can help with chaining attacks, but is not all that important. Single and dual wielding sword skills are primarily based on strength and agility, which the Skyrend helps with, but since dexterity is also given, this makes for a great sword to use on higher level enemies, or when changing the game difficulty to something harder because your accuracy will be higher as well. Now, as far as the location, the Skyrend can be found within the southern raid in the final boss chest. Next, we move on to one of my favorites, the Earthshaker. Now, this sword has a very low drop rate, at least for me it did, but it can be found in the northern raid boss chest. For stats, it gives strength and agility, both maxing out at 60 when fully upgraded. Besides a Sacred Arts damage boost, it does have an active and a passive skill with it. For the active, we have Emergency Evade, which causes HP regeneration to nearby allies and increases ally damage done based on HP. The passive for the Earthshaker is Veil of Obscurity, which boosts evasion by 10%. The Earthshaker is a decent sword to start with for the end game, and since it's in the North Raid, it's not too hard to actually farm either. Moving on to the Savage Squall in all of its purple glowing mightiness. The Savage Squall gives players an agility only boost, which I have never seen go above 40, and has the passive Offensive Defense. This passive grants a 5% increase to defensive counter attempts. In all honesty, this sword is easier to farm since Flashfang is pretty easy to kill, which is a divine beast if you weren't aware, in Loden Mountains, but by no means is something you should build around. Not much more to really discuss with this one, so we're going to move on to the next. Alright, so now we have Void Eater, which drops from Lightseeker to Divine in Manelda Rocks. The Void Eater only has Vitality as a stat, making it not that great for either single hand or dual wielding sword skills, but does come with the passive skill Rule by the Strong. This is actually a really good passive skill for debuff characters, which is probably where this weapon would end up if it were to be used. Rule by the Strong gives a 100% boost to risk when in use. Me personally, I haven't actually integrated this sword into any build so far, but if any of you guys watching this have, go ahead and drop that in the comments below and let me know what you did and why. Last but not least is the gold glowing sword, the Galactic Jewel. This is a sword that is crafted by the Divine Beast Blacksmith in North Centauria and comes with both strength and dexterity, making it great for new endgame starters. Besides these stats, the Galactic Jewel can be obtained with the passive skill Abandonment, which gives a deflection bonus, making it easier to deflect attacks. The active skill is Unbreakable Body, which increases your defense rank by 1. Now, as stated earlier, in order to get the Galactic Jewel, you must craft it in North Centauria, which requires the following items: Brilliant Bulbstone, which you can get from Bloomcrown the Temptress in Sarole Mountains; Impervious Crimsonbarb, which you can get from Waredge the Virtuous in Sivilia Mountains; Impervious Nucleagem, which can be dropped by Earthfang the Lost in the Deusoldort Desert; Brilliant Vibracore, which is then dropped from Godhorn the Abominable in Treitis Pass. Alright everyone, that is my list of the best swords in the game so far for version 1.04. I will be doing a single-handed and dual-wielding sword build for each very soon, so if you are curious, be on the lookout for those. If you would like to follow me outside of YouTube, I am always active and reachable on Twitter at _Cerebro. Now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.